Hello everyone. Hi, I'm Sanjana. I'm back with another fun live session of the Playbook. So, those who are here with me, can I get a hello, everybody? Hello. Hello everyone. Hello Soumya. Hello. Welcome to the live session of the Playbook. Those who are here for the first time, you can subscribe to our channel for more content, and you can also check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and also via our website. The links are given in the description below. You can follow us to get regular updates, and we are going to conduct a series of live session on grammar, and we can help you with speaking and writing good English. Okay, so today we are going to learn about types of sentences based on structure. So before we start, you can also check out our previous sessions in our YouTube channel. They're already there, the pre-recorded sessions. You can also learn a lot from those sessions. So we will start off with today's session, that is types of sentences based on structure. Okay, so all of you can give in your doubts and answers all in the comment section. I will be addressing all of them. So without further ado, let's get started. So, types of sentence based on structure. Now, sentence variety is not about mere novelty, it is about meaning. Of course, if you have watched our previously recorded sessions, we have already discussed about sentences, about how to make them meaningful. So you can avoid boredom and choppiness by varying your sentences, varying your sentence types. So the longer the sentence, the more complex it gets, but the shorter the sentence, the more meaningful it is. So every sentence that you come across is of one of the following types, that is simple, compound, complex, compound complex. So we are going to find out about them in details. Now, to master these four types, you really need to master only two things. That is independent and dependent clauses. We have already discussed about clause in our previous sessions. There are two types of clauses, that is independent and dependent clauses. Now, the four types of sentences are really only four different ways to combine independent and dependent clauses. So, independent clauses are essentially simple and complete sentences. They stand alone and they can be combined with other independent clauses and they would still make a complete sense. Dependent clauses, whereas, are unfinished thoughts that cannot stand alone. They are a type of sentence fragment and must be joined with independent clauses. As the name itself suggests, it's dependent on another independent clause to form a meaningful sentence. So, if we look further, we have the first type of sentence structure, that is simple sentence structure. Now, a simple sentence consists of one independent clause, and an independent clause contains a subject and verb and expresses a complete, meaningful thought. So, a simple structure can stand all alone on its own and make complete sense. Let's look at some examples. I like coffee, which clearly states out that I prefer coffee. It's quite meaningful. Then if you look at the second sentence, Mary likes tea. So that's meaningful enough. It's quite an independent clause. It's all standing alone and making sense completely. The earth goes round the sun. Mary did not go to the party. There are no other clauses or fragments in this sentence. It's just one independent clause. Now, if we look at another sentence structure, that is compound sentence structure. A compound sentence is two independent clauses joined by a conjunction or a semicolon. Each of these clauses could form a sentence alone. Now, the thing that you need to remember about compound sentences is there are two independent clauses which can stand all alone if they are separated. They are joined either by a conjunction or a semicolon. If we look at the examples, I like coffee and Mary likes tea. Now, I like coffee is a meaningful clause in itself. Mary likes tea is also another independent clause. Now, if we join these two independent clauses, we get a compound sentence. A sentence which has a compound structure. Okay? Mary went to work, but John went to the party. So, Mary went to work and John went to the party. Both these independent clauses are joined by the conjunction but. Can you see that? So, these sentences are of compound structure. Our car broke down, semicolon, we came last. These two sentences, these two clauses make independent meanings by themselves, but if we put them together, they form a compound structure, compound sentence. Alright, now we will be looking at the third sentence structure. A complex sentence consists of an independent clause plus a dependent clause. Now, as the role suggests of the dependent clause, it's always dependent on an independent clause. A dependent clause starts with a subordinating conjunction or a relative pronoun and contains a subject and verb but does not express a complete thought. It can never express a complete thought as it's dependent on another independent sentence. So, if we look at the examples, we missed our plane because we were late. Now, if I take up the first clause in the sentence, we missed our plane, that itself is something very meaningful, right? Because we were late, if I just simply say because we were late, it doesn't make any sense, right? It is depending on the independent clause, we missed our plane because we were late. So I hope this division is clear. Let's look at the second example. Our dog barks when she hears a noise. Now, our dog barks is an independent clause, as we can already understand. But here is another dependent clause, when she hears a noise. When does our dog bark? She barks when she hears a noise. So, let's look at the third one. He left in a hurry after he got a phone call. He left in a hurry is the independent clause, and after he got a phone call is a dependent clause. So why did he leave in a hurry? When did he leave in a hurry? He left in a hurry after he got a phone call. So after he got a phone call is the dependent clause here in the sentence. Do you know the man who is talking to Mary? Now, do you know a man is an independent clause. Again, it's a independent sentence structure which can stand all alone by itself. But it has another dependent clause which is who is talking to Mary. So, you are referring to a particular man who is talking to Mary. So, this is how the structure of complex sentences go. Remember, they always have one independent clause along with another dependent clause. I hope this was clear to you. Now we will move on to the fourth type, that is compound complex sentence structure. A compound complex sentence consists of at least two independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. You must remember that it has at least two independent clauses and another dependent clause. The dependent clause can be one or more than one as well. So let's focus on the examples carefully. John didn't come because he was ill, so Mary was not happy. John didn't come, so that itself is an independent clause. Mary was not happy is also another independent clause. But what is the dependent clause here? It is because he was ill. So as you can clearly see here, there are two independent clauses along with one dependent clause in the sentence. If we look at the second sentence, he left in a hurry after he got a phone call, but he came back 5 minutes later. Now, he left in a hurry is an independent clause. He came back 5 minutes later is another independent clause. Now, after he got a phone call is a dependent clause, as you can already see here. It depends on the sentence that he left in a hurry because he got a call and he came back 5 minutes later. So as you can see, all of these clauses are interrelated. Okay, so remember, in a compound complex sentence structure, you will have two independent clauses along with one or more dependent clauses. There has to be two independent clauses in a compound complex sentence structure. So I hope this was clear to all of you. Now we will move on with an exercise. So can you determine the type of the following sentences? Here are 4 sentences. All of you in the comment section can give me your answers. Which one do you think, the first sentence, which type do you think it is? The new girl in our class has a brother in grade 7 and a sister in grade 9. Soumya, what is the clause? I'll give you the answer. You can also watch our pre-recorded session where we have spoken about clauses, the fundamental elements of grammar. You can go and search that up in our channel. You'll find about what a clause is and what is a sentence. How is a sentence different from a clause? Let's see, everyone. Okay, Arya. Okay, I hope it was clear to you. So now let's look at the second one. Do you want to go swimming tomorrow, or would you prefer to play tennis? Can I see some answers? Okay, so let's look at the first one. What do you think? Does it make sense independently, or does it require a dependent clause, or does it have 2 or more independent clauses? Can I see some answers in the chat section? Okay. Which type do you think it is? Is it a simple structure? Is it a compound structure? Is it a complex or a compound complex? Okay, Raghav is here with the answer. Okay. Okay, let's see some more answers, everyone. Yes, clause is a group of words that includes subject and verb. That's correct. Okay, looking at the third one. While I was doing my homework, my father cooked the dinner and my mother was asleep in front of the television. Which type of sentence do you think this is? Okay, looking at the fourth one. We were doing a mathematics test when the fire alarm rang yesterday. What do you think about this sentence? If you're confused between the type, you can search for the dependent and independent clauses in the sentence. Remember, an independent clause makes sense all by itself. It can stand alone in a sentence. A dependent clause is an incomplete thought. It is a fragment of a sentence. Okay, so I hope that was a bit of a help for all of you. Let me see some answers. Okay, can I get some answers, everyone? Okay. Yes, Raghav, very good. Okay, let's. Okay, yeah, very good. Raghav and Soumitra, right? That's correct. Let's see some more answers, everyone. Look at the sentences. Does it make sense? Like, is it standing all alone? Is it an independent clause? Yes, the second one is correct, Soumitra. Very good. Look at the third one. What do you think about it? It has so many clauses, right? While I was doing my homework, my father cooked the dinner and my mother was asleep in front of the television. So, what do you think about it? Does it have two independent clauses or two dependent clauses? Let's determine that. Okay. Yes, the third one's correct. Very good. Let's look at the fourth one. We were doing a mathematics test when the fire alarm rang yesterday. Right. The fourth one's correct. Very good. Okay. Third is compound. Okay. Raghav, let's see. We will be revealing the answers in a few minutes. Okay. All right. Let's look at the answers. So the first one is of a simple structure. The first sentence has a complete meaning in itself. The new girl in our class has a brother in grade 7 and a sister in grade 9. Quite simple, and it stands all alone. It does not have any clauses. It just has one independent clause and it's making complete sense. So it's a simple structure sentence. All right. Now, look at the second one. What's the answer? The answer is it's a compound sentence. Look at the sentence. Do you want to go swimming tomorrow or would you prefer to play tennis? Can you see the two clauses can stand all alone by themselves? Do you want to go swimming tomorrow is itself a question, an independent clause, an independent thought. Would you prefer to play tennis? That is also an independent clause. So both of them, if separated, can stand alone. Hence, they are compound sentences. Now, looking at the third one, it's a compound complex structure. Look at it. What does a compound complex structure have? It has two independent clauses and one dependent clause, right? So look at the sentence. While I was doing my homework, my father cooked the dinner and my mother was asleep in front of the television. So the sentence starts with a dependent clause. Can you see? While I was doing homework. So it's happening like the person is doing his or her homework while something is happening. So what's happening? My father cooked the dinner and my mother was asleep in front of the television. So the last two fragments of the sentence are the two independent clauses in the sentence, whereas the first fragment, the first clause, is a dependent clause. Alright, I hope this was clear to you. Looking at the fourth one. We were doing a mathematics test when the fire alarm rang yesterday. So that's a complex sentence structure. How do you determine? We were doing a mathematics test when the fire alarm rang yesterday. So when did the fire alarm ring? It rang when we were taking the test, the mathematics test. So it depends, the clause depends on the independent clause. Okay, so this is a complex sentence structure. So I hope all the answers are clear to all of you. Now we have come to the end of the session. So you can follow our channel, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, the Playbook India. You can follow us for regular updates, and we will be conducting quite many live sessions. So we will see you next time.